Make a payment system with item filters. I've shown off the item filter before, but it's a great way to make a simple payment system. We have our input up top here, where you put in whatever you need to. We'll use diamonds as our payment system here, so that when the hopper pulls it out and sends it along here, hoppers try to pull before they push things, so this hopper is actually going to try to pull items out of here before it sends things along. So if there's a diamond in here, this hopper, with our filter setup, will pull the diamond out into its first slot. It would also grab sticks, but we rename them so it doesn't actually grab regular sticks, and they'll just flow over top here, going down into the junk chest. You could even feed it back to the player if you want to give them back whatever they gave you. But the diamonds here get pulled into this hopper, which we can actually see isn't pointed downwards. We have it pointed at the comparator, so it's trying to send items that way. We want it to pull from the hopper above, but we don't want it to send things downwards yet. So this hopper down here is actually locked by a torch here. So nothing can actually happen. The items just stay in here until this is unlocked. Then it will start pulling items from the first slot. So when we have enough items in here, the signal strength from this comparator will get strong enough to a signal strength of 3, wrapping down to this piece of dust, which will power this repeater, turn off the torch, and items can start flowing down. Once there's few enough items in there, this torch will turn back on, lock this, and it'll stay there. But this piece of dust will be off normally, but on when an item goes through. Even if we send in multiple items, it'll actually just keep pulsing on and off. But ideally, someone just puts in the one item, it'll pulse, and we can read out with that, using a repeater or something to bring it back up to full strength. So I've set up the secret door here, with a price of entry of 1 diamond. So when I put a diamond into here, we'll see the door will open up, and we can go right on through. What we've got behind the barrel here is just the item filter setup. The line over here goes across to our jump chest, where anything that we don't want goes in there, and the item filter down here will pull our diamonds down. The barrel reads from here, and this is where we end up with our diamonds. The item filter goes down to here, and this repeater is pulling from the dust at the end, going to a number of pistons. One that just gets pulled down here, to this piston at the bottom, which pulls a block down from below. Over here though, we've got a pulse extender. Normally, this pulse is pretty short, so the door wouldn't be open for long enough. So we use some comparators in a loop here to make a pulse extender. I've shown these off before, but if you have comparators set up in opposite directions like this, with some dust on either end, you can take a short pulse and make it much longer. Be careful if you clock it though. If you make the pulse way too short, it's going to have some issues. But if you power it for long enough, it'll just stay on. So we use this to hold the door open by holding the piston open down there, and we use it to power this other line that goes up to our pistons here. This torch here is sending a signal up with a bit of delay to these top pistons, so this other one has time to retract at the bottom first. Then everything works just fine. We can throw a diamond into here and see it all in action. All it gets pulled up, and then when the time runs back out, everything gets pushed back into place.